Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to do a quick segment on flying with a firearm. Flying with a firearm is really easy if you do it right, and if you do it wrong, you get to go to jail. So you want to make sure you do it right. First thing you're going to want to do when flying with a firearm is make sure you check the laws. You're going to make sure check with the state you're in, the state you're going to. That CCW app that I always talk about is great for this. You check reciprocity. We'll talk about that a little bit. Check with TSA. Make sure you go on TSA. Check with them. Check with the airline and local laws as well. Since we're in New York, we have to make sure we check with New York City too. Don't worry. I promise I'll break it down for you. It's gonna get easy. First thing you're gonna want to do is make sure your firearm's unloaded. So, how I do that personally is you do a regular check show clear, and then I always use a chamber flag. I keep my chamber flag inside of my life pod. And I'll talk about that life pod in a bit. Put your chamber flag in here, close, and it's a very easy way. Whoever's inspecting your firearm can see that it is unloaded. Visually see it's unloaded. I hear some people talk about how they take it down, they take their whole firearm down, they separate it from the slide. Cool. If that's what you want to do, that's fine too. Then your magazines or any accessories, whatever, for your firearm have to be inside that lock safe container too. So unload them and put them inside. Your ammunition must be separate in the box that it came in. And I know that this is not 9mm. I know it doesn't match. This is 5.56 ammo. It's just the box I got. It has to be separate from your firearm, and that includes not in the magazine as well. And that can go in your regular luggage, which is weird to me, but you know what? That's their thing. Once you do that, you're going to declare your firearm. Declare your firearm the right way looks different. You don't go up to the counter and say, I have a gun. Shit never works. Go up there, take out your pistol permit card, take out your ID. Hello, I'd like to declare a firearm. Not I have a gun. I'd like to declare a firearm, right? And then even when they call, I had a lady one time. I did this 6 times in the last month alone, right? I had one lady call, say, hey, we have a customer with a gun up here. I said, no. We have a customer that needs to declare a firearm. Very different. Verbiage is important here. So once you go through that, you'll get a card that looks like this, or a card that looks like this. It depends on which airline you fly through. This is one from Delta. This one is American Airlines. And then you'll get one of these fancy little tags hooked up to your carry-on, and that'll go to the BSO, the baggage service office, and you'll have to pick it up. It won't be on the belt. Well, it shouldn't be on the belt. Like I said, I flew 6 times in the past month, and each time it's been different. It depends on the person you get at the desk. It depends on the place you are and the place that you're going to. By flying from New York City, LaGuardia was by far the hardest. They took me to the side. 6 police officers showed up. It took a long time. Police officers showed up. They were really nice, but told me many times they had no idea what they're doing because they don't do this often. First thing he said to me, are you law enforcement? No. Then he looks at me and said, this gets tricky if you're not. No, I said it shouldn't. There's no reason it should, right? Before I flew, I made sure to check local laws. So I reached out to many different agencies. I reached out to TSA, I reached out to LaGuardia, Port Authority, NYPD, and State Police. Every one of them got back to me and told me to ask somebody else, except for State Troopers. State Troopers got back to me and said, yes, as long as you follow TSA guidelines, you are able to bring that firearm, right, that pistol, that's on my New York State pistol permit, to New York City, as long as I do it properly, as long as I bring it there properly, and then I'm able to fly out with it. So I have that written permission, right, from the state troopers, just in case something goes haywire. Someone says, hey, you need a New York City permit, whatever the case may be. When I was in LaGuardia, I showed him my pistol permit. He looks at it, took pictures of it, took pictures of my gun, took pictures of the serial number. We did the check show clear, which is kind of weird, like literally in front of everyone at the counter. I was a little uncomfortable, right? And then we went to a little room where we were supposed to do the check, and we didn't do the check there, and then everyone was confused and it was a big mess. If you're flying out of New York, go early. Go early because they don't do it often. St. Louis. I flew out of St. Louis and said, hi, I'd like to declare a firearm. Lady said, okay, no problem. Sign this, right? Sign this form. Okay, cool. She said, open it up, show me. Cool, show her. She said, okay, have a nice day. All of 3 minutes total. Flew out of North Carolina. The lady in North Carolina was like, I have no idea how to do this, sir. She's like, it makes me nervous. I said, no problem. I'll walk you through it together. I'm a firearms instructor. We'll do this together. She said, okay, cool. And I showed her all the different parts where she needs to check and go over. We got the little key tag, and we're good to go on our way. But like I said, it's different. It was different for every area I went to. As long as you make sure you check all your boxes, I would say even reach out to state troopers. Make sure you have that permission, right? Which is terrible that we say that. In writing from them, just in case someone doesn't know what they're doing, you're not going to get jammed up. You can say, okay, this is it right here. Boom, it's in writing, and you're good to go. I reached out via the New York State Trooper contact page, and they were very helpful, very friendly. Just making sure you're doing everything right. Make sure your verbiage is correct, and make sure you're diligent. Right, you're thorough in everything you do. There's no firearms or parts in your carry-on bag. It's all in your checked bag. You declared it, and you did everything by the book according to TSA guidelines. Do everything right, and you should be fine. Right? You should be able to carry and do everything you need to. You should go to that BSO pickup when you get there. For me, sometimes it's quicker. Sometimes they bring it right to you, and you can get off that. You can get out of that airport right away before even people at the baggage claim do. Sometimes it takes longer. They're like, oh yeah, there's only one guy picking it up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, cool. No, I'll wait for that one guy, right? And they know what this means, so they'll come to you. And when I got back to New York, the guys knew what it meant too. And they were like, oh my goodness, you got a gun in there? Yeah, I got a gun in there. You a cop? No, but I do the class. So, like I said, each time was different, but if you do everything right, you should be fine. Right? Make sure you check your boxes and do everything you need to do. Make sure the state that you're going to recognizes, this is really important, recognizes your carry. Okay? Before I end this up here, I do want to talk about the case that I use. I use a LifePod case made by Vault-Tec, my absolute favorite. And what's really important about this case, and I like a lot, right on the back right here, I don't know if you can see, it says TSA compliant. That way, if anyone's like, oh, well, I don't know if this is going to work. No, it's going to work. It says it on the back. It's stamped on the back. All right. This one's cool because this one's biometric. You touch it, and you're in. Opens up, pop open the straps on the side, and you're good to go. So no one else has a key except for you. So sometimes, at a few airports, TSA wanted to check in front of me, and I opened it up for them, and that was fine. They went through, outside of the person at the baggage belt or whatever it was. We went through, we checked it together. Then TSA wanted to look at it, which was fine. And it's very dependent on where you go. It depends on, what their SOPs are when you get there. But yeah, it's fairly straightforward. Just make sure you do everything correct. Oh, for Vault-Tec, that was kind of cool too. I have this little carrying case that I include inside of my carry-on. So this goes inside of my luggage. This goes in here. This goes inside of my luggage, and then I take my holster, put that in the front part of it, stick it in my luggage, and I'm good to go. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, please reach out. I'm very happy to answer them. I don't care if you're a customer or not. It's, I'm just trying to make the gun community better for all of us so we can all do what's right and not get jammed up. All right? Talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.